Hi, everyone. And as you know, our International Women's Day videos on extraordinary everyday women were so popular that we were asked to record a few more. And I am delighted to talk to you today with Michelle Kent. Michelle and I only actually met in person for the first time yesterday, but we have been working together with the Mission Beyond purpose-led work since about last September. And over the last couple of months, it's been quite intensive, both at a strategic high level and then at a detailed product and platform building level. So Michelle has an extraordinary ability to traverse those two areas. So let me ask Michelle to introduce herself, and then we'll get into our questions of challenge and achievement. Michelle, welcome.
Hi, Harriet. Wow, what an introduction. You always make people sound way better than they make themselves sound. So that's great. So, and like you said, we've been working with each other since the end of last year and met for the first time in person yesterday, which was brilliant. But a bit about me. So I'm actually just very shortly coming to the end of a 25-year corporate career, split fairly evenly between a UK challenger bank and a global big bank. And again, split fairly evenly between a marketing career, which is where I started, and then a digital and customer experience career in the last 10 years, spanning, the creation of a digital centre of excellence, customer experience, digital transformation, but very much customer-centric, led with the outcome of achieving commercial objectives. And then throughout the pandemic, I decided that I wanted to really reflect on what I wanted to do next. And that was when I started to get involved in Mission Beyond and having an impact on some of the big societal issues that we're currently facing. So using my skills and knowledge and my experience to date to have a far greater purpose.
So it's been amazing learning all of these new skills and putting them to work for some of the biggest challenges that we have out there in society. But Michelle, tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you've experienced and how you have overcome them.
So I was really excited when I found out you were doing videos on International Women's Day. So I watched the videos when they came out, and lots of what those amazing women said did resonate with me. But when I thought about my video and what's probably the biggest thing that I've had to overcome is my absolute fear of public speaking. and that's because, it might surprise you, but I'm a really shy introvert and do not like being the center of attention, and really happy to be backstage and writing presentations and content and orchestrating events for everybody else, but never really had a desire to be front and center on stage. And that's okay when you're starting in your career and more junior, but the more senior you get in an organization, the expectation that you start to become more of a public face, both through your teams, your business externally, and then frankly as a role model as well, because young people want to see female senior executives, and particularly in the sphere that I work in, which tends to be technology. There is now more of us, but there's not many. So so I had to acknowledge that I needed to do something about overcoming that fear of my public speaking. So, and I think that
how did you approach this? How did you do it? It sounds a big thing.
It was a big thing, and actually I did wonder whether actually I would ever be totally comfortable, and I think the honest answer is no. I was nervous about doing today. And even, I know you, I met you yesterday, but even being on camera is something that doesn't come naturally to me. So I think there was three things really. It was that understanding that I need to do it, and right, what's going to get me comfortable in being able to do that. And the first thing was start small to build my confidence. So present to my teams, present to bigger teams, present to segments within our organization, and then present to our annual conference about what we've been doing. But really just practice, 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 and get myself comfortable with speaking to ever increasing groups of individuals. The second thing was be really clear about what events that I would be prepared to speak at and which ones I wouldn't. And you get offered opportunities that is just, you've got a 20-minute presentation, but no Q&As. You might be involved in a panel discussion that you know in advance what the questions are going to be, so you can prep answers, or it might be free fall. And I built my confidence in going for the presentations first. So I'd know what I was going to talk about, I knew how long I'd got, and I knew that nobody could ask me a question that then would throw me. Or so, that was the second thing, be really careful about which events that I chose to attend and speak at, and then start to grow that. And then the third area was just seek feedback, and let people tell me how I was progressing in terms of my delivery, my style, my confidence. Ask them how I could improve. Always have somebody in the audience that I could look at, so there was a friendly face. And I think one of the things that's some of the advice that I got was around, God, but you're so good. Why are you so nervous? Well, because I don't feel good and I do get nervous, so that doesn't help. But some of the best advice that I got was, nobody knows what you're going to say, Michelle. So if you forget something, doesn't matter, because they don't know you were going to say it anyway. Nobody knows this better than you. And you're passionate about it, so that will come through in your delivery. And smile, because I'm quite a smiley, happy person, except when I'm on stage. And then my smile completely disappears. So have somebody in the audience that can watch you, give you feedback about how you did. And then when you catch their eye, they smile to remind you to smile. And that's the 3 steps that I took to overcome that fear. Still don't love it, but I'm getting better.
What amazing advice. I mean, I would have to echo those who weren't aware that, most of our year has been together on Zoom, and you've been, so skilled at presenting and putting your point of view forward. So great advice. People will learn so much from that. You're a role model in putting it out there. So thank you. And then a question that so many of the exceptional, everyday, amazing women we've interviewed struggle with is, what achievements, you've had so many in your life, what achievements are you most proud of? I've learned that you're someone whose opinion of herself is way more important than anyone else's opinion. What are you most proud of?
I mean, it's so much. When I look back over the span of what has been an amazing career, I don't struggle to come up with things that I'm proud of. And I've built lots of things that millions of customers use and benefit from. But in my heart of hearts, what I'm most proud of and my biggest achievement will always center around the people and the positive interaction that I've had with the people that either work with me, work for me, the teams I've created. I was responsible for Santander's graduate scheme and part of their emerging talent committee. And I must have brought in 250 future young leaders of the bank. And it's not just around creating them from a banking perspective or a functional perspective. It's about working with them to develop them as well-rounded citizens that are doing the right things, you know, really mindful of their customers, want to work with organizations that are making a difference, and just watching them flourish. And I think when I read my leaving card from Santander, it was those moments where people made me aware of the difference that I've made in their lives, and I gave them the first opportunity, or there was an opportunity that they hadn't applied for, and I reached out to them and said, why haven't you applied for this opportunity? And they'd say, well, because I didn't think I could do it. Or, and I was like, there's no way, you'd be perfect for this, go for it. And then they got it. And then they went on from that. So yeah, I think my greatest achievement is the positive impact I've had on the people that I've interacted with over the years.
That's fantastic, Michelle. And any piece of advice that you would give as this inspirational leader, even though you don't think you are one when you really are? Any advice you'd give to women watching this saying, I want to be like her and have that type of career?
I just think that just use the people around you. I'm always gobsmacked at how gracious and generous people are with what they'll share with you, or the people that they'll introduce you to, or the way that they will give you feedback constructively and positively, and want to help you. And we can't do it by ourselves. We're not successful by ourselves. It's a testament to the people that have been around us and helped us on that journey. And just keep your network wide and have an open mind as to what you could learn from every interaction that you have with those people, and ask for help. And don't be scared of asking for help and asking for feedback. That would be my advice.
Thank you, Michelle. And we're going to have many more days and months of working together as we try and, do more good in the world. So thank you for partnering on that journey and for all your amazing openness today in presenting yourself so wonderfully. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.